Hey everybody, and welcome back to the board meeting. Today we are continuing to count down my top 100 games of all time. We're getting pretty high on that list because today's sections are from numbers 30 through 21. So these are getting to be my favorite games of all time. These are the games, when people talk about board games, these are the games I'm going to be bringing up. These are the games that get me excited. They get me that tingly excited feeling, sort of. Uh, but yes, and I would love to hear from everybody else in the comments what you think of these games. And if you have made a top 100 games list, what games fall in this section for you? But let's just get right into it. Let's go to number 30. Number 30 is a very popular game. This is a very big game. This is Blood Rage. Blood Rage is this giant dudes on a map, giant miniatures game. You can move around this map, battling and everything. But this is a very deceiving game. And before I get into that, actually, I've had a very complicated history with Blood Rage because I actually don't own Blood Rage anymore. I played Blood Rage at 2 players right when I bought it, and I absolutely hated the game. I despised it. Then I was like, okay, I'll give it another try. I tried it with 3 players, with another 2 people, and then one of the people that I was playing with, he was enjoying it. I was not enjoying it at all. I liked it better at 3 players than 2 players, but I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't care for this game. So I was like, you know what, you can just have the game. So I gave him Blood Rage. And then on the next few weeks of game nights, he was bringing Blood Rage, and we were playing Blood Rage at 4 players. And I loved the game now. I like the game a lot at 4 players. At the other player counts, it wouldn't make my top 500 games of all time. But at 4 players, I really like it at 4 players. But this is interesting because, like I said, it's a deceiving game because it looks like just a dudes on a map trying to fight each other, but that's not really what it is. The most important part of this game is drafting, and you're going to draft before you actually fight or put people on the map, but that's going to determine your game plan. These drafting, because you're going to draft cards. The cards will determine how you might score points. They'll give you goals for that round, for how you're going to score points. It'll get you upgrade. You're going to upgrade your fighters. You're going to get new monsters. You're going to get these big bad monster people or sea serpents, whatever. And you're going to be moving around the map trying to do that. And there are cards that make you actually want to lose in battle. So you don't know what the other players are trying to do, really. But yeah, so it's this dude on a map fighting game that the fighting isn't necessarily the most important part. And I really like that there's kind of a couple paths to victory in Blood Rage. So number 30, Blood Rage. Going to number 29. Number 29 is a big game as well. This is Teotihuacan, City of Gods. This is part of the T-Series of games, and I haven't gotten to play all the T-Series games. I would like to, but because I like them. They're very Euro-style, mechanically based games. And in this one, it's a looker to me. I think it really looks nice. And you're going to be moving around this board it's like a worker movement game, but your workers are dice, and your dice are, depending on where your dice are, that's what their actions are going to be. Like if it's a 1, it's going to be this action. If it's 2, 3, 4, they'll get better and better. And every time you move a specific dice, it moves up a level. So if you move it from a 4, it goes to a 5, and then once it gets to a 6, it dies down. It kind of gets a rebirth sort of thing. And you're going to be moving around the board, doing different things, building up the pyramid. Building up the pyramid is super cool. You can slowly watch this pyramid grow, and it's interesting. It's a very point salad-y game. There's several paths that you can take to victory. But yeah, it's a fun game, and I highly recommend checking out. There's a lot going on. So this is one of those games, like, if you don't play it regularly, you're going to have to reread the rulebook. So, like me, I might play this game every 5 months or so. Every time I've broken it out, I have to relearn it, because there's just a lot going on. I kind of remember the bases and everything for it, but there's a lot of little details in it. So number 29, Teotihuacan, City of Gods. Let's go to number 28. Number 28 is one of my favorite board game covers of all time. Number 28 is Rajas of the Ganges. Now this is, like I said, it's a very pretty looking game. This is a worker placement game, and you're going to have these dice that you are going to be your resources, which is interesting. So there's going to be colorful dice. That brings out the enjoyment. This is a good looking game to me. But What's interesting in this game is you're going to be moving around the board in opposite directions on 2 different tracks. You're going to have your money track, and you're going to have your, I believe it's called your fame track. And different things will move up these different tracks along the way. And how the game ends is if one of the players collides their fame and their money track. And that's interesting. But I really like the worker placement part of it too. The dice as resources, like I said, just looks good. Fun game. Number 28, Rajas of the Ganges. Going to number 27, going from one good-looking game to another good-looking game. Number 27 is Hadara. I don't necessarily like the cover that much, but I really, really like the look of this game. This is a very colorful game. This is kind of almost, everybody compares this to Seven Wonders, and I understand why. It's a civilization drafting game, but it's very, very abstract. You're not thinking about building up your civilization. You're just thinking about which cards you need to draft. And there's going to be tracks that you're going to be moving along, and you're going to need those tracks to be so high to get different other bonuses. And it's really interesting. And obviously it does borrow stuff from Seven Wonders, where you can either buy a card or sell that card, because your money is going to be tight all the time in this game. And you're always going to need money, but you always want the cards too, so you're going to have to choose. There's going to be a lot of hard decisions in this game. And yeah, this has kind of replaced Seven Wonders for me a little bit. I mean, Seven Wonders still made this top 100 list, but Seven Wonders is more like, if there's 7 players, 6 players, I'm going to pull out that game. If there is 3 or 4 players, I'm going to pull out Hadara. Hadara is wonderful. It looks really good, really colorful. It's my type of game. Number 27, Hadara. Let's go to number 26. We had a couple good-looking games, in my opinion. Now we're going to a game that I don't think looks very good. Number 26 is Orleans. This has got your classic Euro-style trading in the Mediterranean theme and look to it. The board game cover looks not good at all, but this game has gained popularity. This is a bag building game. You're going to be pulling out these chits from this bag, and they're going to be people, like soldiers, different kinds of occupations, and you're going to be placing those people that you're pulling from the bag on different spots to get other people to put into your bag. And this is all in the hopes of you're trying to get different of these resources, and you're trying to move on this other board to build trading houses, building these routes on that. That's how you're going to score points. There's a bunch of different tracks you're going to be moving up, and it's just a fun game. It is, I believe it is my favorite bag building game. I don't think there's one that's higher than that. But this is a game I think could have really benefited from a better cover and a better looking game, maybe different themes, but it's number 26 still. So, mechanically speaking, this is a wonderful game. Number 26, Orleans. Sorry, I'm a little bit losing my voice here. Going to number 25. Number 25 is a very popular game. I think it's rated like 3rd or 4th all-time for best board games on BoardGameGeek.com. Number 25 is Terraforming Mars. And in Terraforming Mars, you are doing just that. You are terraforming Mars. You are building oceans. You are raising the oxygen level. You are also raising the heat. You're trying to warm up the planet in order for people to move into Mars and populate Mars. And this is kind of a card game. This is a card game because you're going to be drafting cards. You're going to be buying those cards. Then you're going to be playing those cards, and those cards are going to help you do those 3 different things that you're trying to accomplish in this. They're also going to raise up certain tracks to make things easier for you. So it's very interesting. I like it a ton. This is a very long game, though. This is almost too long for me. And I wasn't, I think without the Prelude expansion, it would be top 100. But getting that Prelude expansion really helps with my level of how long I want to play this game, because Prelude, the expansion Prelude, just jump starts this game, because otherwise this game is going to take a while for you to start building up your engine, being able to do what you want to do. Prelude jump starts that and probably saves 20 minutes on that game at least. So yes, number 25, Terraforming Mars, but I definitely recommend getting the Prelude expansion. Going to number 24. Number 24, right here. Number 24 is Aquatica. This is a water-themed game. You are going to be playing these different cards and trying to buy or conquer these locations. And what's interesting about this game is there is this board which is double indented or whatever, I can't remember what people always call it, but you're going to be sliding these locations into those slots, and they're going to sort of give you bonuses, like give you more conquer ability, give you more spending money, give you different special abilities, and you are trying to push those locations all the way up in order to score them, because you can't score them unless you push them all the way up. Plus then you have like this scoring thing which will take it out, and then you'll finally get to score that location. And there's a lot of different variability in this game. There's 4 different objectives, but the objectives are interchangeable. You can change a bunch of different ones. There's an expansion for this game that I haven't gotten to play that I really would like to. If you have played it, and let me know in the comments if it's almost like a necessary thing, because I've heard it improves this game by a lot, and I already love this game. I love that mechanic of putting those locations in these boards and using them, kind of comboing. You're constantly comboing in this game, and I love games that allow you to combo things, make you feel clever, and that's what this game does. It makes you feel clever. So number 24 is Aquatica. Going to number 23. Number 23 is, I just talked about games that combo with things. Number 23 is the biggest flip and right game I've ever played, most complex one. This is Hadrian's Wall. This is a newer game. I think it came out in 2020. I have played this game a ton. This is definitely a solo only game though. There it says like 1 to however many on the box cover. There is almost zero interaction with this game. There's no reason to play it with other people. I played this game once with multiplayers. Never again. There's no point, because for the multiplayer, we were just both sitting there in silence doing our thing, because you're not interacting with that other person pretty much at all. There's no reason to. But it's just this giant flip and write game. It's got 2 big sheets with hundreds of boxes that you're going to be marking off, and you're going to get a bunch of different resources. What's interesting in this flip and write, you actually get physical resources, which is not like a thing that a lot of flip and write games do. But you're going to have these physical resources, these physical workers, different colors, and you're going to need a specific resource to mark off this particular box. Then you mark off that box, it will give you a different worker or a different resource, which you can bring over here to mark off this, and then that will get you a different resource and you are just constantly comboing things. You combo stuff in this game probably more than any other game I've ever played, and I really like this. Like I said, it makes me feel clever, just like Aquatica makes me feel clever. And this game, I play it, and it was my favorite solo game from last year. Yes, but number 23, Hadrian's Wall. Let's go to number 22. Number 22 is another popular game. I had a lot of popular games on this list. This is number 1. I believe it's still number 1 on Board Game Geek. This is Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is this massive, massive dungeon crawl game. This is D&D, the board game. If D&D was to make a board game, you just make Gloomhaven. It's a nice cooperative game. There is a lot to keep track of in this game, though. So if you're looking for a light game, do not even come close to Gloomhaven. Do not touch that game. It is a big, complex, heavy box. If I don't even own it, my friend owns it, but it would take up one of these shelves just by them. One of these box shelves just by itself. It is a massive game with a lot going on. And I actually haven't played the physical board game in probably a year and a half now. And that's because there is this app on Steam that does Gloomhaven amazingly well. So if you want to try out Gloomhaven, but you don't want to spend all that money, I definitely recommend trying it out on Steam. It's like $20 or something like that. Well worth it. It keeps track of all of your stuff for you. So I don't know if I'll ever actually play the physical board game again, though it's still one of my favorite memories of getting together weekly with my group, trying and breaking out this game. We had it permanently set up on my friend's pool table for something like 4 or 5 months, and we were trying to get together every single week to play a scenario or two. But this is a game, you don't want to put it away, because taking it out and pulling it out, and it's going to take like an hour to just set it up, because there's just a ton of stuff going on. So number 22, Gloomhaven. Going to number 21. Number 21 is a brand new game. This is the highest on this list of brand new games. This is a game I got from Kickstarter just probably 4 months ago now. This is a small card game. This is Radlands. Radlands is a small 2-player card game. Like I said, I got the Kickstarter version, so I got the nice tokens and I got the playmats. This is a game I would highly recommend. If you get this game, get the playmats. The playmats do a couple different things. First of all, they look really, really nice. Secondly, they're very practical, and they'll help you with the game. They'll help you teach the game. They'll help you keep that game organized. Now, in this game, I love everything about this game. I love the cards in them. I like the theme of it. The card artwork is amazing, in my opinion. Mechanically speaking, I love this game. You are basically going to draft 3 bases, and that's going to be the base of the game. Is you are trying to attack the other player's base and destroy all 3 of their bases. And at the beginning of the game, you are going to draft bases, and you're going to draft 3 of them, and those bases are going to be give you different special abilities. But it's also going to determine how many cards you're going to get to start the game with. So if you pick this base that's really powerful, it's not going to give you any cards. But if you give this get a base that's basically not really a good special ability or anything like that, you might get 3 cards from that. So it's interesting, because cards are very important. It's hard to get cards in this game. Everything is hard to obtain. You only have 3 water resources to use to spend to put out these cards. And the cards are going to be different people that are protecting your base, attacking other people's bases. They're going to be events that are going to be put on the side, and each round they get closer to activating it. So it's interesting. Like, someone puts out a really powerful event, but it's not going to activate for 3 rounds. So each round you just watch it moving up, and you're trying to prepare for it. And it's really interesting. This is a game I think could definitely move up on this list. It's 21 now. Maybe next year I could see it breaking into the top 10. I've played this game a ton. For as little length of time that I've had this game, I've played this game a lot. Another one thing that I really like about it is all the cards are multi-use cards. You can either play that card and spend the resources to play them out on the board, or you can, what they say, junk that card, is just get rid of that card, and there's a one-time use on them. That can be pretty powerful and can help you and can really swing the game. But number 21 is Radlands. And that will complete this section of the list, number 30 through 21. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more weekly content from me, Shane, at the board meeting in the future. Hope you all have an amazing day. Take care, everyone.